Oh dear. It's a hard life, John, without him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm lost without him. Really am. First you do whatever he says, Ma, where we go today? I said, Ken, we've been out every day. Yeah, it's good to get out, Ma. Well, I don't know. We've been to too many places and we've got no place else to go. So he said, okay, well, we'll get in the car and go somewhere. So, all right, we'll get in the car. We'll get to the bottom of the driveway. He said, now, where we go, Ma? Where we go? I say, well, we went that way yesterday. We'll go this way today. So we go that way today. We'll just drive around. Nowhere in particular. Just drive around. And then we come to a coffee shop. Come to the coffee shop and buy a coffee. He said, come on, I'll buy you coffee. And then we'll have lunch or brunch, whatever the time happens to be. Breakfast, brunch or breakfast, whatever. Yeah, and that's what we did every day. And tomorrow he'd come, same thing. Where we go today, Ma? I don't know, Kim. So we drive around, we might keep driving south. And then if we find a motel there we look at, we'll stop there. We'll go into the motel and that's where we'll stop for the night. And that's what we did. We always had our bag in the back in case we found a place we wanted to stop. And that's what we did, John. In the afternoon, well, you know, what time do the races start, John? What time the races start?
We go all day.
So we'd get in the car and drive along. I'd have my crossword book, my reading book, because I know somewhere he's going to stop. Okay, I just want to pull in here for a few minutes, Ma. Okay? All right, Ken. He gets out. I get out my reading book and my crossword book. It's going to be more like half an hour. So he was happy doing what he'd do in the afternoon. I was happy doing what I do with my books and stuff. Yeah. And then one day he was saying, oh, I want to get some petrol in the car. Come for a drive with me while I go down to petrol. I said, Kim, but we only went out yesterday. He said, I'll buy you a coffee. He knows I always like to have a coffee when I went out. So I'll buy you a coffee. Coffee would turn out to brunch. So we always had something nice. But I said, Ken, your tank is 3/4 full. I know that because I drive it too. You've got 3/4 full. He said, yeah, I just want to top it up. Where do you want to go? I just down to Granville. To top it up, 20-minute drive down to Granville. To top it up that much, John, top it up. Oh, God, John. Yeah, right, Ken. He was strange somehow. I don't know.
Oh, you picked him.
I wouldn't give him away for anything, John. We're not giving away for anything, my Ken. It was my Ken. Don't know why he did that to me. It wasn't fair. But he must have been very unwell, John, for a long time because he never complained. He never complained of pain or anything like that. He never complained how unwell he was, John. It was Monday morning. I said to him, all right, Ken, get ready now and go. He said, I don't feel like going, I'm too tired. I said, well, you don't have to drive, I'll drive. I said, just put the seat back, put your head back and go to sleep, I'll drive. So we did that. But at the end of that day, he was quite tired. So we had our dinner, and actually the tennis was on. Tennis was on that time in Melbourne. So we watched the tennis for an hour before he decided to get into bed. Yeah. So he did that. But the next morning he woke up. He woke up before me. I said, can you wake already? He said, take me to hospital. Just like that. He never said anything about his sleep. He said, take me to hospital. So we packed up. But we raced down the freeway and that, got to the hospital. They made him comfortable. They just made him comfortable. Yeah. So he spent 5 days in that hospital. But on the 3rd day, he was unconscious. And didn't talk to us after the 3rd day. They had him on morphine. And he didn't talk to us after that 3rd day. For the last 2 days, we weren't able to speak to him because he couldn't answer us. We talked to him and talked to him and sing our hymns and say our prayers, but he couldn't open his eyes. He didn't realise we were there. Couldn't. Like him. And that made me feel very sad because why couldn't I see, because I was with him all the time here. Why couldn't I see how unwell he was? How unwell he was. At that time, they weren't allowing people into the rooms, and they allowed no visitors. But they allowed one of us to go into the room at a time. So when I was there and someone else had come in to take my turn, and the doctor came in and he seen how unwell Ken was. He was really unwell, he was out to it. And they still would only let one or possibly another one to come to change over. And the doctor said straight away, he called the head nurse in. He said, the family can come and stay here in the room for as long as it takes. We were allowed to stay in the room, and we stayed with him. We stayed with him all day, all night, and all day, and all night the 2nd night. And at 5:30 on that 2nd morning, we were all asleep there in the room. And they never said go, we were very quiet, and they were very quiet. And they said, Jennifer was the first one awake. And then I was sharing the lounge with somebody else. I was sharing the lounge. And Jen said, Mum, I think he's gone. Just like that. So we all woke up and he wasn't breathing. And he was gone. That was the end of my can. Yeah, I think about him all the time. Biggest chunk of my life gone. And my life's not the same, even though I've got my children and all that. My life is not the same. I wake up in the morning, I think, I look after his pillow next to me, I think, he's not there. Not there. It's a horrible feeling that he's not there. So, why am I getting up? What am I going to do now? What am I going to do now? That beautiful photograph there, he's smiling there. I said, Kim, why are you smiling? It's not funny. You're always smiling. I love that photo behind me up there. He's always got that same beautiful smile. I said, why are you smiling? Because it's not funny.